Good day, everyone. This is Lisa Cohen. I am the Communications Manager here at the South Australian Tourism Commission based in Los Angeles. And welcome to session number 7 of our webinar series. And we're thrilled today to welcome some fantastic operators from South Australia. But first I'll introduce Matt Guy, who's of course based in our head office in Adelaide. Good day, Matt. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Lisa, and good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be back here again, and look forward to educating everyone a little bit more on South Australia. So do remember to throw in some questions. It always makes it a lot more interesting at our end if we have a little bit of audience participation. So great to be here. Absolutely, and we're pleased to welcome. We have Erin from the SeaLink Travel Group. Good day, Erin. How are you?
Good, thank you, Lisa. Welcome to everybody from North America. I believe it's just after 2 p.m. in the afternoon, so if you can bear with us for a little while, it's lovely to talk to you, and thank you for your time this afternoon.
Absolutely, and we're also pleased to welcome Tony Smith, who's from Rawnsley Park Station all the way up in the Flinders Ranges. How are you doing, Tony?
Yeah, well, it's good evening to you, Lisa. It's morning here, and I believe it's happy birthday.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Well, just as a reminder to everyone, we'll get started here, but each presentation will be about 10 minutes each, and you're welcome to type in your questions at any time in the chat box at the bottom of your screen, and we'll be happy to answer those after each presentation. So if we'd like to go ahead and get started, we'll start with Erin at the SeaLink Travel Group.
No worries. Thanks, Lisa.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about, I'm sorry, yeah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what makes SeaLink unique.
So the SeaLink Travel Group is South Australia's largest tour operator across South Australia, and that incorporates Kangaroo Island and both Adelaide and South Australian touring as well. We're able to offer a variety of product from large coach touring experiences to luxury four-wheel drive experiences, particularly on Kangaroo Island, and also some adventure products throughout South Australia and also on Kangaroo Island as well. We've got the capacity, because of the size of the SeaLink Travel Group in its entirety, to package South Australian stays. So we've got the ability to package up, Kangaroo Island day tour experiences with also Barossa Valley wine tasting experiences as well. So we've got the ability to be able to package up South Australia in a nutshell and experience the best that South Australia has to offer for international clientele.
Great. So how would we access SeaLink if we traveled into Adelaide?
Yes, certainly. So SeaLink Travel Group obviously has two facets of product experience, so both Adelaide touring but also Kangaroo Island. So Kangaroo Island leads off from Adelaide every morning with coach pickups from hotels and motels around Adelaide CBD, transfers down through the Fleurieu Peninsula, and then it's a very short ferry ride, 45 minutes across to Kangaroo Island to the port of Penashore on Kangaroo Island. So there's a few options in terms of travel to Kangaroo Island. We can do those coach transfers from Adelaide, which are around about a 2.5-hour journey. Alternatively, we've also got the capacity to do flight options outside of Adelaide Airport and into Kings Coast, which is the capital of Kangaroo Island as well. In contrast to that, our Adelaide sightseeing product, which is day touring experiences in and out of the city, they do hotel pickups from Adelaide and back to Adelaide hotels in the evening. So both facets of the product have the Adelaide hotel pickups, and then we transfer clients direct from there.
Fantastic. So what would you say is the most surprising or unique element of SeaLink?
Of SeaLink, I suppose when we're talking about Kangaroo Island as a destination, we're talking about the idea of it being Australia's #1 wildlife tourism destination, and the fact that on any given day you could see seals, kangaroos, koalas, goanna, fairy penguins, the list just goes on. But the important thing to remember is that it's all in its natural habitat. So that's a really important and nice selling point for Kangaroo Island as a destination, is that you're not seeing this wildlife, this Australian wildlife in a wildlife park, you're actually seeing it in its own natural environment, which is really important. So I guess the other selling point for Kangaroo Island are the beautiful pristine beaches. Obviously Australia is famous for them, but Kangaroo Island has a few keys that absolutely stunning destinations. And also our unique scenery and stunning landscapes as well, our unique geographical landscapes. I guess in recent months also, recent probably the last couple of years, Kangaroo Island's also become a really popular local food and wine producing region for South Australia as well. Some fantastic local wines coming out of Kangaroo Island. There's now 8 cellar doors on Kangaroo Island for clients to experience. Some beautiful sparkling Shiraz product and also some fantastic rosés coming out of Kangaroo Island. And also our beautiful local produce as well. So our honey and local honey farm with local honey ice cream, some beautiful halloumi cheeses, some fantastic seafood and marron as well. So it's really about combining that nature experience but also offering clientele that fantastic South Australian food and wine produce as well.
I know I'm craving that honey. I had some actually for breakfast with my yogurt, but it doesn't compare to the ones that come from there. I really miss that for breakfast. Can you tell us a little about, are there any changes or anything new to the touring programs that you're offering?
Yeah, absolutely. Just wait for the slides to catch up. Sorry, Lisa. So SeaLink Travel Group for product effective 1st of April this year, following through till 31st of March next year. We've got a few key changes in some of our touring products that I just want to touch on today. So our key change for our Highlights Day Tour, which is our #1 selling day tour out of Adelaide to Kangaroo Island, is the inclusion of a guaranteed koala experience. So previously this wasn't an element of our one-day touring experience. So we've tweaked the itinerary a little bit and now actually got a guaranteed koala viewing experience as part of that tour component. So it's a really, really lovely experience at Hanson Bay, which is down the western end of Kangaroo Island, where with the opportunity for clients to wander through the eucalyptus trees and search for koalas in the trees above in the afternoon. So really, really nice experience, and there's also a koala interpretive centre down there now as well. So fantastic for them to be able to see koalas in their natural environment. A few other key changes. Our 2-day Kangaroo Island coast to coast is a 2-day touring experience in and out of Adelaide. We've now actually changed that tour itinerary to a smaller tour group. So our Highlights Day Tour travels with a maximum capacity of 52 people at any one time, whereas our 2-day coast-to-coast experience is now changing to a maximum capacity of 30 people on any given day. So it just makes for a more relaxed itinerary, a bit more of a flexible concept for the tour, and also more time at each of our attractions and activities. And over 2 days of touring, they're really getting the capacity to see and do a lot more on Kangaroo Island, particularly with that smaller group. It just makes it a nicer feeling experience. In terms of our Adelaide product, we've actually got a brand new tour that will be available for market from the 1st of April onwards, and that is our Barossa Valley and Hahndorf Highlights Day Tour. Fantastic new tour elements that combine morning tea and tastings at Jacobs Creek Winery, and also the opportunity for clients to experience some non-exported Jacobs Creek wine varieties as well, which is really special. From there, they also have a contrasted experience of a small family producing winery in the Barossa at Langmar, where they got the opportunity to go out into the vineyards with the winemaker and talk about the 160-year-old Shiraz vines and the importance of them producing wine for them still today. And also a really nice concept of the German history and settlement behind the Barossa Valley, and then on to Hahndorf in the afternoon, where they get to further explore the German settlement of South Australia as well. So fantastic brand new tour for us. We're really excited to have that product on board.
Fantastic. So do you have a favorite photo that you'd like to share with us that's maybe of Kangaroo Island?
Yeah, sure. I've got a couple of Kangaroo Island that I think really encapsulate the feel of Kangaroo Island and the relaxed atmosphere. The first is taken as part of our Adventure Tour product, which is our product marketed to those that are adventure spirited, we like to say, as opposed to the backpacker market. So it's not age restrictive or anything at all. And that photo was taken down at Vivon Bay, which a few years ago was voted Australia's best beach, which is a nice selling point for us here in South Australia, and really encapsulates the beautiful environment, getting out into the environment and experiencing it as well. Kangaroo Island is very much that kind of destination where we want you to get out into nature and experience it, and also just the concept of that relaxed atmosphere of Kangaroo Island. It's the kind of place that once you get there, everything sort of slows down a little bit, and you've got the opportunity to really get at one with nature and experience that natural environment.
That's great.
The next, I feel just kind of, again, sort of reiterates that concept of Kangaroo Island as a nature-based destination and about getting off the beaten track and really experiencing it in your own way. This photo in particular is taken on one of our Kangaroo Island Odysseys touring experiences, which is our luxury four-wheel drive product. So that's about the unique difference for that product is that they do get off the beaten track and they do take clients to those areas that you know, are unvisited by the rest of our large coach touring experiences. So it's really about giving clients a unique and special experience on Kangaroo Island that they're not going to get with other you know, touring concepts, and particularly with SeaLink's large coach touring as well.
Great. So how can we acquire some more information or ask you some questions? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, certainly. So I guess online, first off, obviously if we're not contactable straight away, online is a really good starting place to learn a little bit more about SeaLink's product. We have a website called sealink.biz, which is basically an agent reference website for extended itinerary items, pricing structures, brochure order requests and things like that. And then we've obviously also got our direct websites, which are going to give a more client view about our tour itineraries and our tour items. From there, we also have a dedicated trade team, a dedicated international trade team that work out of our head office here in Adelaide. And they've got the capacity to build a rapport with international agents, and obviously they understand your markets and your commission structures and where you're coming from. So it's really nice for you guys to be able to access them as a resource via email, also via telephone, or also online. But also SeaLink is very open to the concept of familiarisation. So if you're ever here in South Australia or coming to Australia as part of a bigger journey, please think of us. We're always willing to come to the party and help you guys experience our product, because we know if you've experienced the product that you've got the understanding of it and you're able to sell it to a better capacity. So please always make sure that you've got us in mind if you are travelling down to South Australia, or also Australia as well. From there, at this stage, we've also got our contact details on the next slide. So either myself, Erin, or Rudy, my other colleague in the market at the moment. Some of you would have remembered Paul Victory, perhaps, who was our old business development manager. He's now left the SeaLink Travel Group, so Rudy and I are your contacts in the meantime. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So it looks like
Not
we
a
have a
problem
question
at all.
We have a question about your new day tour. How many people can be accommodated in your Barossa or the Handorf day tours?
Yes, certainly. At this stage, we're selling it both as small coach touring with large coach touring options. So it would either be 20 people on any one tour, or that 52 capacity of our large coaches.
Great. It sounds lovely. Well, if there are any other questions, if there are any other questions for Erin, feel free to go ahead and shoot her an email.
I have a pop quiz for you, Lisa.
For me? Uh-oh. Okay.
For you. Can you tell if this koala is a male or a female koala? Just
oh, that's tough. I forget what you're supposed to look for to see. I'm going to go with female.
No, you are incorrect. It's a male. And just so everyone out there knows how I told that without looking below the belt. You see on his chest, he has a little strip of skin there on his chest. And that is something only males have, all males have it. And what that is a scent gland, which they rub on the trees to mark their territory. So just some little tidbits of information you can pass on to your clients, if, just so they know how to spot a male from a female koala. There you go.
That's fun. I'll have to remember that.
Thanks, Matt.
So I guess we'll pass it over to Tony Smith now from Rawnsley Park Station. How are you doing, Tony?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Lisa.
So tell us a little bit about Rawnsley and what makes it unique.
Well, Rawnsley is a family-based business. The Smiths have been on the property since the 1950s, and was originally a farming, well, still is a sheep station. We have merino sheep, but we've, I guess, turned it into a tourism resort, or an outback resort, over the last 30 or so years. And so now we have a range of accommodation, from pitching a tent through to our station units, to the sort of our signature product now, which is the Eco Villas at Rawnsley. And yeah, that's what you're looking at there. I think you've been there, haven't you, Lisa?
I have. It was so beautiful. I remember just the sunset along the mountains and just being able to look over, you know, from those eco-villas, and just with the breeze coming through, it's just a lovely way to spend a couple of days.
Yes, I think that's what makes the Flinders Ranges interesting to Aussies and to international visitors, is that it's sort of that quintessential Australian landscape with wide open spaces and colour and blue skies, and now we've got, we think, some really nice accommodation sort of sitting in that landscape, so that you can look out onto to what you would normally just pass through, but now you have the opportunity to be part of it.
Mm. So how would you recommend that we access Rawnsley?
Well, I guess most people see it as a self-drive destination. So if you're coming out of Adelaide, everything sort of starts and finishes in Adelaide in South Australia. It's the one big city in South Australia, and it's where the international airport is. So if you're coming from Adelaide, we recommend that you travel up through either the Clare or the Barossa valleys, which are the two wine-growing regions north of Adelaide, and then once you get about probably 100 miles north of Adelaide, you're into farming land, so wheat fields and oats and barley, those broad-scale cropping areas, and then about probably 150 miles north, you start to get into the pastoral properties where the farming finishes and you're into just sheep and cattle grazing. And once you get into the Flinders Ranges, the landscape changes again, and you get into these valleys that are, or ranges that are broken up by valleys, and you get those red sandstone ranges around you, and sometimes, yeah, a bit more vegetation even. There's a few more trees, and although you're closer to the desert, you've also got quite a diverse landscape. The other ways you can get there, I guess, by air. There's a scheduled service to Port Augusta, a daily service to Port Augusta, or you can look at charter flights out of Adelaide. We've got a small strip at Rawnsley, so we can get direct charters out of Adelaide to the station.
What's the drive time, Tony? You drive it?
Drive time's around about 5 hours. It's 250 miles, pretty much open travelling. There's not probably not a lot of traffic, and yeah, pretty easy going. But yeah, normally my wife can do it in 4.5, but I usually take 5.
She's got a heavier foot.
So what would you say is the most surprising element about staying at Rawnsley that most of the clients walk away with? Yeah, I think it's the landscape. I think if you haven't, I guess it's comparable to your southwest a little bit. An arid mountains, so not a lot of rain. Quite often we're praying for rain, but this year it's been good. We've had a bit of rain over the summer, but yeah, just those stark sort of arresting views that you get in the semi-desert locations, and these amazing colours. You could be sitting on that balcony of the villa, and as the sun sets, those rocks really glow back at you, and yeah, just enough vegetation that you don't feel like you're right in the middle of the desert, but you're actually experiencing nature without too much discomfort. Absolutely. So have there been any recent changes or anything new to the property?
Well, I think, yeah, we've tried to develop a suite of activities for people when they're staying. We have four-wheel drive tours that range from day tours through the Flinders Ranges National Park, and you're bound to see kangaroos, emus, wallabies, lots of birds, even yeah, the odd goanna or lizards. So there's plenty of opportunity to see the wildlife. We have bushwalking tours. We have day tours and extended bushwalking tours. That slide there is at the top of Rawnsley Bluff, which is one of the day walks that can be guided or just self-guided. That's a fantastic hike. We have scenic flights that do anything from half an hour to 2-hour flights over the Flinders. And last year we started balloon flights. There's a company, Outback Ballooning, that operate in Alice Springs as well, and they've now got a base in the Flinders Ranges, and they're doing morning balloon flights and staying at Rawnsley Park. So, yeah, there's lots of things to do. We can certainly keep you busy.
Do you have any other favorite photos that we haven't seen yet that you can share with us?
I think there's one coming up of the balloon flight that I like. I think what the ballooning does, it sort of combines. There it is. Combines those red ranges and that sort of empty landscape of the outback with the vibrancy of the colours of the balloon, and it's really a combination of nature and I guess our technology. I don't know what they're called ballooning technology, but it's just such an interesting mix of being part of the elements and having some man-made ability to get around, and it's just a fantastic feeling just to float. You know, you don't feel the wind because you're travelling at the same speed as the breeze. It's as if the landscape's just drifting past you. It's sort of surreal. You have to do it one day, Lisa.
I know. I wish I could be there today. I really do.
Yeah.
So what's the best way for us to find out some more information and to connect with you for any further questions?
Well, I think, just visit either the website, which is www.rawnsleypark.com.au, or send us an email to info@Rawnsley Park. As I said, we've been in the area for a long time now, and we've got a good team of people working for us that are familiar with the area, and we can certainly give you detailed information or put together itineraries that we think will suit your clients. I know we had some Canadians only last week that have booked they've sort of adapted one of the walking tours, doing 2 days walking and 1 day of sightseeing, and I'm sure they're going to have a great time.
That sounds lovely.
And guys, just for your information too, Tony is the one with the hat on in that photo.
Thanks, Matt.
Too.
In case, there was any doubt. So we have a couple of questions here. So can you just run back a little bit about the Eco Villa? What exactly makes the eco component of the accommodation?
Yeah, okay. It's basically the thermal efficiency of the building. They're built of straw bales, so they're rendered straw bales, so they're about 18 inches thick. Got double glazed windows, got sort of a whole of building ventilation system, so there's a little closable vent in the rake ceiling. So if you use the windows and the venting properly, they do have air conditioning, but the only time you should need the air conditioning is middle of winter or the heat of summer. The rest of the time, the buildings stay, wonderfully even temperature, and just a lovely environment to be in.
That area I've just highlighted on your screen shows you the actual hay bale. There's a glass panel there which actually shows the hay bale behind the rendering, just to give you an idea that it is on display. So they really do take pride in the eco-friendliness of these buildings.
Great. So another question here, what are the dining options on property?
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. I think I missed that. We do have a restaurant on property. It's called the Woolshed because of the sheep connection, and that's open every day of the year. Most people have breakfast in their rooms because the rooms are about 800 yards from the dining room, but lunch and dinners available every day, and yeah, we've got a really nice menu there. I think you won't be disappointed with the food and wine at the property. Great.
And another question here is, do you have an opportunity to work with the station hands during your stay?
We probably don't really do that to a great extent. What we do offer what we call our station run tours, which is a half-day trip where you go with one of the station hands, or sometimes me, where we go to the wool shed and learn about how the wool's harvested and sorted and so on, and then go around the property, and we might look at some of the sheep, look at the waters, because water's the big, or the really important thing on the property is making sure that we have water for the stock all year round.
Fantastic. Well, I think that is it for the questions here, but if you have any other remaining questions, please feel free to email Tony and Aaron directly for any other pending questions. So we just want to say thank you again to Matt and Tony and Aaron. Thanks for joining us today. As a reminder, our next webinar will be taking place on April 10th, and this will be the last of our series for the time being, but you're always welcome to revisit some past webinars and this one on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/SATradeSpecialist. So thank you again, everyone, for attending, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Lisa. Okay. Have a good day.
And happy birthday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.